Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to continue reading. The next chapter, chapter 6, is called Off to Montana. At the end of the summer, the cob gathered his family around him and made an announcement. "Children," he began, "I have news for you. Summer is drawing to a close. Leaves are turning red, pink, and pale yellow, and soon the leaves will begin to fall. The time has come for us to leave this pond. The time has come for us to go." "Go?" cried all of the babies except for Louis. "Certainly," replied their father. "You children are old enough to learn the facts of life, and the principal fact of our life right now is this: we can't stay in this marvelous location much longer." "Why not?" cried all of the babies except for Louis. "Because summer is over," said the cob, "and it is the way of swans to leave their nesting site at summer's end and travel south to a warmer place where the food supply is good. I know that you are all fond of this pretty pond, this marvelous marsh, these reedy shores and restful retreats. You have found life pleasant and amusing here. You have learned to dive and swim underwater. You have enjoyed our daily recreational trips when we formed a line, myself in front, of course, swimming gracefully like a locomotive, and your charming mother bringing you up from the back like a caboose. Day long you have listened and learned. You have avoided the odious otter and the cruel coyote. You have listened to the little owl that says cuckoo, cuckoo. You have heard the partridge say quit, quit, quit. And at night you have dropped off to sleep to the sound of those frogs, all the voices of the night. But these pleasures and pastimes and these adventures, these games and frolics, these beloved sights and sounds, all must come to an end right now. All things come to an end, and so it is time for us to go." "Where shall we go?" cried all of the babies, except for Louis. "Where shall we go? Where shall we go? We shall fly south to Montana," said the cob. "What is Montana?" asked all the cygnets, except Louis. "What is Montana? Like a banana? What is Montana? Banana, banana?" "Montana," said the father, "is a state of the Union in the United States of America. And there, in a lovely valley surrounded by high mountains, are the Red Rock Lakes, which nature has designed especially for swans. In these lakes you will enjoy warm water arising from hidden springs. Here, ice never forms, no matter how cold the nights get. In the Red Rock Lakes, you will find other trumpeter swans as well as the lesser waterfowl, the geese and the ducks. There are a few enemies. Plenty of muskrat houses, free grain, games every day. What more can a swan ask for in the long, long cold days of winter?" Louis listened to all this in amazement. He wanted to ask his father how they would learn to fly and how they would find Montana even after they learned to fly. He began to worry about getting lost, but he wasn't able to ask any of these questions. He had just had to sit and listen. So one of his brothers spoke up. "Father," he said, "you said we could fly south? I don't even know how to fly. I've never even been up in the air." "True," replied the cob, "but flying is largely a matter of having the right altitude, plus, of course, having good wings. Flying consists of 3 parts. First, there is the takeoff, during which there is a lot of fuss and commotion, a lot of splashing and rapid beating of the wings. Second is the ascent, or gaining of altitude. This requires hard work and fast wing action. And third is the leveling off. The steady, elevated flight, high in the air, wings beating slower now, beating strongly and regularly, carrying us swiftly and surely from zone to zone, as we cry, cuckoo, cuckoo, with all the earth stretched out far below us." "Sounds very nice," said the cygnet, "but I'm not sure I can do it. I might get dizzy up there if I look down." "Don't look down," said the father. "Look straight ahead. And don't lose your nerve. Besides, swans do not get dizzy. They feel wonderful in the air. They feel exalted." "What does exalted mean?" asked the cygnet. "It means you will feel strong, glad, firm, high, proud, successful, satisfied, powerful, and elevated, as though you had conquered life and had a life full of purpose. Louis listened to all this with great attention. The idea of flying frightened him. I won't be able to say cuckoo, he thought. I wonder whether a swan can fly if he doesn't have a voice. And the page is stuck together. Now is a time for you to chuckle at me. I think, said the cob, the best plan is for me to demonstrate flying to you. I will make a short exhibition flight while you watch. Observe everything I do. Watch me pump my neck up and down before the takeoff. Watch me test the wind by turning my head this way and that. The takeoff must be into the wind. It's much easier that way. Listen to the noise I make trumpeting. Watch how I raise my great wings. See how I beat them furiously as I rush through the water with my feet going like mad. This frenzy will last for a couple of 100 feet, at which point I will suddenly be airborne, my wings still chopping the air with terrific force, but my feet no longer touching the water. Then watch what I do. Watch how I stretch my long, white, elegant neck out from behind me until it has reached its full length. Watch how I retract my feet and allow them to stream out behind, full length until they extend beyond my tail. Hear my cries as I gain the upper air and start trumpeting. See how strong and steady my wing beat has become. Then watch me bank and turn, set my wings and glide down. And just as I reach the pond again, watch how I shoot my feet out in front of me and use them for the splashdown as though they were a pair of water skis. Having watched all this, then you can join me, and your mother too, and we will all make practice flights together until you get the hang of it. Then tomorrow, we will do it again, and instead of returning to the pond, we will head south to Montana. Are you ready for my exhibition flight? Ready, ready, cried all the babies, except for Louis. Very well, here I go, cried the cob. As the others watched, he swam downwind to the end of the pond, turned, tested the wind, pumped his neck up and down, trumpeted, and after a rush of 200 feet got into the air and began gaining altitude. His long white neck stretched out ahead, his big black feet stretched out behind. His wings had great power. The beat slowed as he settled into sustained flight. All eyes watched. Louis was more excited than he had ever been. I wonder if I can really do this, he thought to himself. Suppose I fail, then the others will fly away without me. In a few minutes, the cob glided down out of the sky and skidded to a stop on the pond. Then all of the baby swans cheered. All right, said the cob, you've seen how it's done. Follow me and we'll give it a whirl. Extend yourselves to the utmost. Do everything in the proper order. Never forget for a minute that you are swans and therefore excellent flyers. And I'm sure all will be well. They all swam downwind to the end of the pond. They pumped their necks up and down. Louis pumped his harder than any of the others. They tested the wind by turning their heads this way and that. And suddenly, the cob signaled to start. There was a tremendous commotion, wings beating, feet racing, water churning, and presently, wonder of wonders, there were 7 swans in the air, 2 pure white ones and 5 little dirty gray ones. The takeoff was accomplished, and they started gaining altitude. And I'm going to stop there.